He made himself a what?
Unto himself a god.
They started dealing with idolatry and making gods to themselves before the flood. Now we understand why the Catholic Church is hiding the fact that these were actual angels. Because look how many idols and gods they worship up in their church. They even worship dead people. Read.
And they robbed and plundered every man his neighbor, as well as his relative. And they corrupted the earth, and the earth was filled with violence. And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men.
That's how you know it's talking about the angels. Went to the daughters of men. They're the judges. They're set up. Satan has set these guys up. Read.
And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men, and took their wives by force from their husbands,
Go ahead.
according to their choice.
They committed adultery. Not only did they choose women, these were other men, women. Read.
And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth, and the beasts of the field, the fowls of the air, and took the mixture of animals.
They took the mixture of animals. They started mixing animals with each other. Reptiles with beasts. Read.
And took the mixture of animals of one species with the other.
With one species to the other. That's your dinosaurs. Read.
In order therewith to provoke the Lord. And the Most High saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted its ways upon the earth, all men and all animals. And the Lord said, I will blot out man, that I created from the face of the earth, yea, from man to the birds of the air, together with cattle and beasts that are in the field, for I repented that I made them.
Same thing we read in Genesis, but it's in more detail. That's why they don't want you to have the book of Jasher, because this destroys your science and your philosophers. The knowledge of the Most High destroys your science. Okay? That's where your dinosaurs come from. So the Most High had to put the spirit on Noah to save the woman's seed. Alright? Now, got away. Noah got away with his children, but Satan, here it is, he's still on the earth. So he had to work on the other side of the flood. So he had to get into someone else to start his cycle again, to one day destroy the woman's seed.
With Nimrod, that while he was said to be the inventor of fire,
he was said to be the inventor of fire. So he was using fire as weaponry. Read.
He was also regarded as the first that gathered mankind into communities.
He was the first to gather mankind into communities. Read.
Along with the sun as the great fire god, and in due time identified with him was the serpent worshipped.
Hold up. It says the sun as the fire god. Read that part again, the last part you read.
Along with the sun as the great fire god.
The sun as the great fire god. So he actually instituted the worshiping of the sun, or the acknowledgement of Sunday. And don't forget, this is the beginning here. This is way in Genesis. This is way before Constantine and the Catholic Church and the Romans. Read on.
Was the serpent worshipped?
Was the what worshipped?
Was the serpent worshipped?
So who gave Nimrod his power? The serpent from the garden. Read on.
In the mythology of the primitive world, the serpent is universally the symbol of the sun. In Egypt, one of the most commonest symbols of the sun or sun god is a disc or a serpent around it.
I need you to show the image of the serpent that was worshipped during ancient Babylon. See that?
Got that.
Okay. So, now the serpent is going to use the government with Nimrod as the chief king and spiritual leader to put the people in communities and teach them ways against the Most High, to build a tower to fight against the Most High, to go into the heavens and fight the Most High. And you're going to find that this blueprint Nimrod used is used and it's advanced through each civilization. You're going to find Alexander the Greek use the same pattern as Nimrod. The Romans use the same pattern as Nimrod. America used the same pattern as Nimrod. Control the communities, control their thinking, and help them build. Join their armies, join their armed forces, join their, their lifestyle, to eventually use all your spirit and your force to get out in space and fight against the Most High. And while you're doing it, you're worshiping the serpent. We're going to bring it all together. Let's go into Nimrod real quick. Go to Genesis 11. Start at the first verse. Let's read a little quicker so we can get through it.
Genesis 11:1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said to one another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one.
The people is one. Now they're one with Satan. They're not one with him. They're one against him. Satan again. The people are one, read.
And they have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
So if the Most High didn't stop them, they would have accomplished their feat, their mission. Okay? Their mission was to get before the Most High, because Lucifer knew exactly where the Most High is, but he need to use resources within the physical to one day get out in space. Read.
Verse 7. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language.
Let's stop their language. So the angels had to come down and stop them from communicating. And it tell you in the book of Jasher that the Tower of Babel was so high, it would take 1.5 years for a man to walk from the base of it to the top. And it wasn't finished yet when the Most High confounded the language. That's how tall this building was. Read.
Go to, let us go down and confound their language, that they may not understand one's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound their language of all the earth. And from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon all the face of the earth.
So, as you can see, for this feat, for them trying to do this evil act, there goes Lucifer again, trying to get back to the heavens, using people, communities, and government to be in one mindset against the Most High, to worship him with the sun and fire, and to be at variance against the Most High. Now, I'm sure a lot of these people thought they were doing the right thing. They were being deceived. The cunning serpent. He did it in the garden. He did it before the flood. Now he's doing it after the flood. Okay? Now, after this happened, okay, all the nations who reverenced Nimrod as a god that was under him, even though their language was split, they took the same ideology and the same understanding of the worship of Nimrod and his mother Semiramis with them. That's the reason you can go to each culture and see the similarities in each religion. Alright? So they were able to take these religions that Nimrod gave them and start them in their own lands in different languages. Same religion, different language. Alright? So that's why certain things are celebrated at the same time all over the earth. Like December 25th. You might think that that's a newfound holiday to follow here in America, when America is really a modern society. People were celebrating December 25th well before Christ was on the earth. Nimrod's birthday is December 25th. Yes, ancient Babylon. You name it. I'm going to go into a few of those. I have it right there in front of me. All these societies started their worship and their belief and their structure of government from ancient Babylon. Okay, there's no separation of church and state. In order to get the people to follow Satan, he must control your government and how you're governed, and you have to control your spiritual connection. You have to control your spirit religiously, and you have to control your form of government. There's no separation. He must control the two. Alright? Now, going along, it went into Egypt. We're not going to go all the way into Egypt right now. We're going to say that for another time. We're going to do a tape on Egyptology. But we mentioned from Babylon to Rome to America, the Satanic connection. In this book, I'm going to get it. I'm going to read something if you don't mind. It shows. That's how you know it. This is the reason. This is how you know that it's talking about that all the nations, that were at the tower took the same worship, because they all had the Madonna, which is Semiramis, Nimrod's mother, and the virgin baby. Okay? They had the same gods, and they took them all over the earth. So it doesn't matter what society you go into, you will find the same deities. You have people with the mother in Madonna that have never frequented Europe, ever in their life. Let me get it out of here real quick here. Here's an example from ancient Babylon. You have Semiramis and child in ancient Babylon. Okay? And the same in India. See that? Same in India, these figures. So they were able to take the Madonna and child with them because this is what they learned under Nimrod. Different language, same religion. And this links directly to our religions today. Primarily Christianity. Alright? I'm going to read. Exactly so in this latter respect. And I'm on page 20. Also was in ancient Babylon. The Babylonian and the popular religion supremely worshipped a goddess mother and a son, who was represented in pictures and in images, okay, as an infant or child in the mother's arms. From Babylon, this worship of the mother and the child spread to the ends of the earth. In Egypt, the mother of the child was worshipped under the names of Isis and Osiris. In India, even to this day, as Isi and Iswara. In Asia, as Cybele and Diois. In pagan Rome, as Fortuna and Jupiter Pure or Jupiter the boy. Greece, as Ceres, the great mother with the babe at her breasts. I wonder. In ancient Babylon, I see the goddess, the pagan goddess, a star, holding a torch. From ancient Babylon.